All right, welcome to the Relationship Show. This person writes this post: do apps yield long-term relationships? So they are 34. They say, I have used apps for 2 years now and haven't had anything longer than 3 months, and have had some friends that have used them for 5 years and say they came across some people over and over and are struggling to find long-term relationships. So I would say that how you meet somebody does matter. I've just noticed this, especially it's important to women. It's almost like a story on how you met, almost like more of like a romantic thing, something that they can, tell their kids someday if they're like, you're thinking long-term relationships. So something like that, or something that they can tell their friends and be excited about. Like women often talk about their relationships with their girlfriends. Guys do it too, but women really just do it a lot. And so it's like, or they decide based on how they communicate with their friends. So they'll go and talk to their friends about what happened on the date, how you asked her out, how you two of you met, and then they talk amongst themselves to decide if she should keep dating the guy. So in that regard, I would say that online dating does have a lower quality, or just coming something like along those lines, as far as like some kind of like a less quality than meeting somebody at like some romantic thing that just sounds like a love story. It's just not as exciting. And so that does, I would say, play a factor in this. But from your situation, it's like, well, you're getting 3 months with these people. And so I would say in your situation, it has a lot more to do with you just not knowing how to show up in the dating process. And probably you're making some errors that lower her attraction. You're not giving any examples, but chances are this is what's going on. And so I would say it has more to do with probably your dating skills versus how you met. And also, like, what are you trying to accomplish by having this mindset that online dating doesn't work? So what are you trying to give this up? Or are you trying to know if you want to put a bunch more work into this? Are you thinking that your efforts just basically aren't paying off? Ask yourself that, and know what you're trying to get, know what outcome you're trying to get. And really, that's a good tool to use for really all aspects of your life. Know what you want before you do it, and then act in accordance with getting that outcome. They say on this post here, I have met a few couples, can count on one hand, that have met their spouses from online dating. But I'm seriously starting to think online dating that leads to long-term relationships seems so few and far. I go on plenty of one and done dates, a couple 1 to 3 monthers. Thoughts? Well, I would say, well, that it does work. You said you can count the people that have long-term relationships and successful relationships on one hand, but that still is a matter of success. And so I think it's possible, but I think that you are directing your focus towards the platform of online dating being the problem. I'm not saying your odds are better. Not saying your odds are less than what they would be if you met somebody in person, because that's probably true. They are better if you do meet somebody in person, but it's not something like online dating. I wouldn't say is something you just discredit, because it does work for a lot of people. And I would say for you, you might just focus on improving your skills with the dating process, or knowing how to show up on a first date or multiple dates, and how to set up dates, and how to give her that space to wonder about you, think about you, not just blowing up her phone over the top. I don't know. You haven't given us any examples, but these are just some common ones that happen. And so just reflect on your own dating skills, where things went wrong in your own, in your past, and also where things went right that you can tell. Learn from your own successes, but also just be careful on doing that, because sometimes if you use like prior successes as like sure truth, Sometimes it's not completely accurate. And so it is very useful to learn from other people's experiences, whether it be books, videos, podcasts, whatever you could find. Get somebody, then go dive deep in their content. Once you can do that, then you start to understand the principles on why they say the things they do, or do the things that they do to have a successful relationship, and then repeat that process.